Bob Jones died several times, and on one of the occasions, he was asked the question, did you learn to love? Did you learn to love? And evidently he didn't, because the Lord told him to go back down and learn to love. Now the fun point is that he died on February 14, Valentine's Day, which seems to be the stamp of approval, you know. I want to pull a few thoughts here together. First of all, it just looks like for all the world and heaven that we're in a repeat of 50 years ago. In terms of how we embrace and process and respond to a fringe sector of society that seems to be not acceptable from conventional point of view. And so did we learn to love 50 years ago? The question, did we learn to love? Now, I understand that most of our frame of reference of what we're talking about today is we're speaking about a frame of reference from the religious point of view. Meaning, so we're religious, so we need to go the other way and give mercy. And probably there is warranted, maybe even an overemphasis. That might be merited, because there's probably more religiosity, religious view, perspective in us than we care to admit or even know. So it's probably good that we emphasize mercy and trusting the seed, which is where I want to go eventually, trusting the seed of sonship that is been planted in each one of them. But the truth is, as you point out a while ago, Barbie, mercy is not the total answer. It's mercy and truth have kissed each other. When those come together is when now we begin to be balanced, begin to be able to be godly. I think of Jesus, who obviously was the ultimate of both of those, mercy and truth. And there were times when he said nothing. He went with the sinners and partied with them so hearty that the religious called him one of them. So he evidently didn't have anything at all to say about them. And then when Peter pipes up and says something, and Jesus reprimands him immediately, like, get thee behind me, Satan. Or the disciples in the boat, he says, oh, ye of no faith, how long do I have to put up with you? I don't know if that's exactly categorized as our loving mercy. Now, it is love, but it's also the marriage of mercy and truth. Then, of course, with Jesus speaking of sinners, well, what do you say to sinners? Maybe Jesus only reprimands the religious. No, we have the woman caught in adultery, and he says, neither do I forgive you, but go and sin no more. That's pretty in your face. So what's the answer? It's where we're all headed, and this is touching me right now pretty deeply. It's where we're all headed, individually and as a group. Learning to hear in the moment. There are times when we must be direct, like a child playing in the front yard, traffic in the street. You better be in their face when they're running to the street. It's not time to be merciful. It's time to be radical. At the same time, when it doesn't matter, it's probably just time for a big fat hug and kissing their boo-boos and tell them everything's going to be all right. And so where we're going, I think we're all learning. We're all doing wonderfully. We're learning how to have the mind of God for the moment. What does the moment require? What's the moment warrant? Is this a merciful time or is this a truth time? And I come back to that point. Did we learn to love? So seeing as how we're in the 50-year cycle, repeat cycle, spin cycle, did we learn to love? And it's very good food for thought. I think we're all realizing this is a very good point. Boy, it's hitting us in a place where it's kind of uncomfortable for us. So I think the point is very well made by all of us today.